Hello, my name is Rebecca Dobson from GetCalmer, and I specialise in yoga therapy for women's pelvic and hormonal health and menopause. And in today's class, I'll be giving away 1 hour of free menopause yoga. More details will be at the end of the class, so please stay tuned. So in this class today, I'm going to dedicate this to perimenopause, which, as you may know, can last for up to 10 years. I know, it's a long time. And you might have found that your periods or your menstrual cycle have sort of become more irregular, and you may have been experiencing more menstrual cramps or a little bit more pain on the run-up to your period. So this class is going to be very slow and gentle and soothing. So I hope you enjoy it. So you will need some props. You'll need a blanket or a couple of cushions. I've got a couple of blocks, but you may want to have a couple of bed pillows because we'll be doing some hip openers, which might feel quite deep, so you'll need some support for that. But first, let's come on to all fours. And we're coming into child's pose, a very soothing pose. So take your knees as wide as your mat, or certainly wider than your hips, and bring your bottom to the heels. Now, if you have very tight thigh muscles, then you might not be able to bring your bottom down to the heels. So use some props, maybe a few cushions, blankets, so your bottom is perching on something rather than in midair. So taking your hands about as wide as your shoulders or possibly wider, and before we sort of come into relaxation, we're just going to start to sway from side to side. And you may find that when you feel uncomfortable or you're in discomfort or pain, then it's quite difficult to be still, isn't it? But just coaxing those hips open, which can create space around your lower back, around the front of your pelvis, can just be very nurturing. It's exactly what you need at this time. So be mindful of your shoulders, just take them away from the ears. And just sway from side to side. Maybe shake out your jaw. Make sure the lips are nice and loose. And then from here, find that point of stillness. And we're coming down a little bit, and you may want to stack your fists one on top of the other and bring your forehead to your fists, just to help support the head. Or you can stack one hand on top of the other, but try and keep your bottom on your cushions or your heels. Take the elbows wide. And then with the head, just taking the head gently and slowly from side to side. And we're just massaging the mid-brow, stimulating the glands that help to govern and support and balance our hormones. And then find that point of stillness. Take a deep breath in. And take it out through the mouth, long, slow sigh. Feel that lower back stretching. And again, take a nice long, deep breath in. And a long, slow breath out through the mouth. One more like this. Inhale. And exhale. Start to press down into your hands, lift up your head, and start to stretch the arms forwards, keeping the bottom connected to cushions or heels. So you're spreading the fingers out nice and wide, pressing down through your palms and fingertips, elbows off the ground. And then start to creep the fingertips forwards, and we're just stretching out the spine. So we want to create as much space in the back as we can. Again, this can help alleviate any tension. Take a deep breath in here. Slow breath out through the mouth. And one more like this. Keep the arms very active. And breathe out. And then start to walk the hands up, maybe about halfway. And you're going to create a diagonal with the upper body. So just going over to your left, draping the body over your left thigh. And keeping the hands nice and wide. And then lowering your head to hover above the floor. And to give an extra stretch in the right side of your body, just creep the fingertips away from the body. Outer right hip lengthens back. Take a deep breath in here, neck relaxed. Breathe out through the mouth. Softening the shoulders, one more breath here. And out. Walking all the way over to the right side, doing the same. So lining up the upper body with your right thigh. Arms, hands as wide as your shoulders, if not wider. Inhale, lift and lengthen, and exhale, softening the body towards that right thigh. And maybe creeping the left fingertips away from the body. Outer left hip lengthens back, breathing in. Long, slow breath out, jaw relaxed. You can close the eyes. Staying here, and you might feel something, you might feel nothing at all, but it's all doing so much good for your body. And now walking the hands to the center. And I'd like you to come up onto all fours. So just remove any props that you may have had. Take the knees underneath the hips, wrists underneath the shoulders. Again, keep those fingers nice and wide. You've got that firm base, and push the ground away. Shoulders away from ears, and I quite like having my knees slightly behind my hips. And I usually tuck my toes under just to give my lower body a bit more support. But you can have your feet straight, depends what feels more comfortable. So just notice your shoulders. Sometimes when we're in a little bit of discomfort or a lot of discomfort, we can start to, shoulders can creep up towards our ears. So just round and roll the shoulders away from the ears. Navel gently lifts up to the spine. And we're just going to make some circles with the body. Going one way, doesn't matter which direction. So hands and knees stay on the floor. We're just making circles with the body. And then go the other way. Nice and easy, keeping that breath as smooth as you can. And then coming back into the center. Finding that center point of balance through wrists and knees. So we're not placing too much emphasis in our wrists, taking it a little bit further back with our hips. And here we're just practicing gentle cat-cow pose. So feel the tailbone gently lift, feel the belly sinking down, chest lengthening forwards, look forwards. And then as you exhale, push the ground away and arch the back, chin towards your chest. So inhale, tailbone lifts, belly sinks down, look forwards, and exhale and round. And depending if there's any pain in the lower back, just take it easy, maybe just do very small movements as opposed to very big. Just moving with your breathing, and exhale round. So again, this creates a gentle stretch for the lumbar spine. It might get very tight during this time. And one more. Exhale round. And come back to a neutral spine. So by now your wrist might feel a little achy, so just shake out. And you've got an option to either come back onto your hands, palms flat, or come onto fists with the wrists facing each other. or sometimes it's a bit more comfortable coming down onto the forearms. So I'm going to choose forearms, but you can stay on your hands or on your fists. Be mindful of your posture. You don't want to sink down with the belly, so lift up just a little bit. And then from here, take the knees a little wider than the hips. And we're going to sway the hips from side to side. Again, we're trying to nourish this area and draw more blood flow to the lower back and the pelvis, which can get very congested, hence the cramps. So just sway your hips. And this alone can be just very, very soothing. And sometimes when we feel in pain, we want to just curl up, don't we, and be very still, but just bringing some gentle movement is so beneficial. So the shape you're creating with the hips and the pelvis is almost like a horseshoe shape. And that movement can be very big or it can be very small. Just moving the pelvis and hips. And then start to make circles, and the circles can be very tiny. So if you close your eyes, just imagine the tip of your tailbone is like a pencil that's drawing this little circle, going one way, and then gradually getting bigger, and then coming back to the center, and then go the other way. Start small. Keep that breath flowing. Sometimes when we do small movements, we can stop breathing, but we need to breathe. Start to graduate to slightly bigger circles with the hips. Feel the back rounding. And then coming back to the center. And then from here, just stretch out the arms. Keep the hips above your knees. Hands as wide as your mat, or maybe wider, and maybe bring the forehead to the floor or on a cushion. Take 2 breaths here, breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in, shoulders and jaw relaxed, and breathing out. Start to slowly lift the head, bring your hands back. And we're going to come into a seated position now, so you might want to sit and perch on some cushions or blankets. So I've got a rolled up blanket. So sitting on your prop, I'm going to take the legs wide. I don't take them as wide as they can possibly go. Probably go to about 70% of your legs potential to stretch. I'm going to shift a little bit further back. So if the hamstrings are very tight, you might need to bend the knees, or maybe take some props so you feel a bit more supported under the backs of your knees. But really we want to keep that straight spine as much as possible. So feel your waist lifting up out of the pelvis, lining up the crown with the tip of your tailbone. So from here, let's just do some foot and wrist rolls before we graduate to opening out the hips and inner thighs, and go the other way. Good, and just shake out. Then interlace the fingers together, and we're going to imagine we're stirring a big pot. So turn towards your left foot and start to stretch the arms towards the foot, over to the right, and hands back to your chest. So you just imagine you're creating this stirring action of a big pot. And again, we're just opening out the hips. Be mindful of your posture. When we overreach, we can start to tense up the shoulders, so maybe make those circles a little bit smaller. One more of these, going this way, and then turn towards your right foot stir. Arms, elbows, nice and relaxed, spine as straight as you comfortably can get it. Good. One more. Nice. And then from here, staying on your cushions, we're going to bring the soles of the feet together in a pose called Barakunasana. So soles of feet come together, and this is where you might need your pillows and cushions to support your thighs, or if the hips are very tight and the knees are higher, you can just hold onto your shins. But again, encourage the spine to be as tall as it can be. Remember, we want to create space around the pelvis here. And again, we're making small little circles with the upper body. If your hips are very open, you might not need any props, and you might want to bring the heels a little closer and hold on to shins, ankles or feet. So whichever level you're at, just create these small circles. And this is such a brilliant pose to do to help regulate your menstrual cycle, if you still have it. And then go the other way. Good, and can you feel those inner thighs gently stretching, or stretching a lot? That's it, and come back to the center. And take the hands underneath the thighs and just gently lift the knees up, remove any props, and you're going to bend the legs. Take the knees wide, so the feet are flat on the floor. And then take your right arm on the inside of your right thigh. And we're going to just do some gentle twists. So your left hand comes to your right shoulder. Gently press the right arm into your right leg and spin the chest gently to the left and extend that left arm out, so reaching. And then you're going to alternate, so left arm comes on the inside of left leg, right hand to left shoulder, across the chest, and reach. So inhale on the transition, and exhale on that twist. So the twist is very gentle, you don't want to over twist. Just want to create some space in the upper chest. So right arm on the inside, left arm stretches, exhale. Left arm on the inside and stretch and exhale, right arm extends. So one more on each side, right arm on the inside. Exhale, stretch. And you might find that that stretch gradually gets bigger as you move. Good, and then come back to the center. And from here we're going to lie on our back. So keep your cushions and pillows nearby. So coming onto your side, keeping the pelvis in that neutral position, and slide on down onto your back. You might need a flattish cushion or your blanket underneath the back of the head, but don't make it too high. We want to keep the level of the cervical spine, the neck, in line with the rest of the spine. And then from here, familiar pose now, coming into Reclined Baddha. So bringing the soles of the feet together, and this is where you might want to use your cushions to support your outer thighs. And for the hands, just please stay there. I just want to show you. We're taking a hand mudra, which is a hand gesture, bringing tips of thumbs together, sides of the index fingers together, so we're creating a little triangle there, and then placing that hand mudra over your pelvis. So either sliding the feet further away from the body if the hips are very tight, or if they're fairly open today, then bring the heels a little closer together, obviously using your props if you need to. And then that Yoni Mudra, placing that over the front of your pelvis, and this helps to nourish and nurture this space. So bringing the head in the center, shoulders shuffling away from your ears. And you can close your eyes and just bring your focus to the space underneath your hands. Take a deep breath in. And as you take a slow breath out, feel any pain or discomfort being released on the exhale. So again, breathing deeply in. Breathing out to release. Stay here for a few more breaths. Staying very mindful with your breathing. Long, slow, controlled sigh. Relaxing the body a little bit deeper. Very slowly blinking the eyes open. You might want to remove any cushions that have supported your thighs. Take the hands on either side of your outer thighs, lift up, bending the legs, coming onto the feet. And just take a moment here, take a deep breath in. And take out an audible sigh. And from here, stretching the right leg, right heel stretches away, maybe reaching the arms up. And doing the same with the left leg, so stretch and create space in the spine, the pelvis. Then bending the legs, feet flat. Keeping one arm right next to your ear, roll to the side. And then using your hands to walk the body up nice and slowly. And just come into a comfortable seated position that's suitable for you. So bringing your palms together in front of the heart, just bow your head in deep respect to your body. And carving out this time for you. Om Shanti. Peace. So if you would like to receive a free 1-hour menopause yoga class via Zoom, then please make a comment saying "Get calmer during menopause," and I will tell you who wins at the end of this month. So remember, make a comment, "Get calmer during menopause," and I'll choose the winner at the end of this month, November. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you again soon. Om Shanti.